Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the 505 Pod.
All right.
Wait. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you guys got a...
Why do I have a call right now?
Why don't I have a call?
Oh,
Oh, this is the iPhone 14
Yeah.
Pro.
This is the 13 Pro Max.
Online. What do you think about this new camera?
sounds clear.
just clearer than day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds just like my 13 Pro Max. I'm sure if you called me, I'd notice.
I don't think so, dude.
I think that this is a line for 14 users.
This feels right.
Oh,
This
that's
is a 48
it's a
megapixel.
beautiful looking phone.
This is a 48 megapixel camera right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else is
Um,
new?
Kind of nice.
Yeah, we had to wait for like 19 hours because apparently digital SIM cards now we just can't
Oh,
do.
really?
We can't do anything regular. They had
That's
to say
kind of annoying.
we're all yeah, dude. It was super annoying because when we went into the Apple store, the guy was like, takes it out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Here you go." I go, "Yo, by the way, we're trading these in."
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at us with this confused look on his face and was like, "You're trading these in. You're not buying them outright." I'm like, "No, is that a problem?" He goes, "1 second," and then he left me and Kostas for like.
He goes 1 second, leaves, comes back, but doesn't say anything. Like leaves again.
Frantically, like fast.
Okay.
Comes back to us. 1 sec. And then he goes, "We're gonna be together a while."
He was super nice.
No.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy, and I felt bad because it was like it was a shitty accident. But anyways, we were there for like 4 hours.
Fuck that.
Realistically, it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours. I should have ate before. I got mad hungry.
It
Braden
was
was
like
like,
7:30 when we got out of there,
yeah.
and we got them though.
But
And
the point
Yeah.
is, the whole point of this story is that we have it, and you
Right.
don't. You don't
Right,
have
that's the point.
Yeah.
I have the 13 Pro Max. It's no big deal. It's a good phone. I highly recommend it. It's probably on sale nowadays.
what are the changes? What is the main change of this thing?
The camera,
Do
the
you feel like we
dynamic
got snookered?
island.
Oh yeah.
No,
big time.
because I don't, because I had the 12 Pro Max, and I don't think there's like realistically, I don't think you need it. You know what I'm saying? But I think like it used to be a way bigger of a difference. Like when the new iPhone came out, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, so much has changed. And now it's like, oh, they made the camera slightly better. And then now it's like the battery life is maybe 1 hour
Right.
better. And they have a dynamic island, which is like fine.
Dynamic Island boys. That's you guys right now.
New front camera though, which is gonna make
That's nice.
filming your talk. Because for example, when you're filming your talks, if you're doing it with the front camera,
Sure.
it's terrible on
Yeah.
any of the other phones.
Yeah.
So this one's a 12 megapixel camera for the nerds
Yeah,
out there.
pretty nice.
That is nice.
It's supposed to
That
be
is
nice. And the 3X camera does look, we did a test.
Yeah.
It looks, so on the one that you have, it's just pretty, it's freaking amazing. This one's just like,
Oh really?
minusculely better.
Yeah.
With the
Oh.
cinematic mode situation they got. So basically active track, you can put like a person in your, in your frame, you press on them and then you can push forward and it does fake blur behind them. Just kind of, I guess, kind of fun. It's something.
They go, in my opinion, they go too dramatic with the blur.
Yeah.
It's like 1.2.
It's just a little too
and-
fake.
and it just doesn't look right. If you did it like a little less blurry,
It'd
I
look
feel like it would
better.
actually be believable and it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, speaking of shitty phones, what do you think about the other one that this came out?
Oh, Sony?
Yeah.
You know I'm a Sony boy.
Right.
But I think they just are out of pocket with this phone that
It's
they
gonna
came
be
out with.
it's gonna be so funny when Sony reaches out to Kostas and they're like, yeah, just like use our phone for money. He's like, Kostas, like,
Well-
fucking bet, dude.
Low-key, I was like, I kind of want to test it out. So I was like, should I hit them up?
That would be fun to test it out.
I watched a video of this guy named Mike
Rock.
Tyson.
Visual?
Mike Hawk.
Mike. He's a travel influencer. You know who he is.
Mike Visuals, yes.
Yeah, Mike Visuals. And he did a whole like brand deal like YouTube video on it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then the more I thought about it, I go, I'm just going to use my iPhone. And like, even though this Sony camera has a great camera, like if I'm traveling, great iPhone or like proper camera.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a phone
too-
from a camera company.
It's
totally
too in the
agree.
middle.
I totally
remember
agree.
Red
Totally.
tried to make a camera and it like sunk the whole company, and then they had to like get new.
You mean a
They
phone?
tried to make
You mean
a
a
phone.
phone?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, they tried to make a phone a while ago before the Komodo.
No
and then
way.
and it like didn't just it failed so hard that it was like called the Red Hydrogen, I think, and it sunk like the whole company. And then they like it got new ownership and everything.
No way.
Yeah, because there's so much like R&D and it just no one bought it, no one cared
Wow.
about it.
Okay. Well, I think it was a silly move as well.
But now I don't have the 14 Pro Max, whatever, but I do have the 13 Pro Max. And not to segue, but I have a shoot coming up and I was on the Tech Scout and I was like trying to produce and like impress like the producers and like the clients that are there. And I was like, what about like a shot like this? And I just like was kind of like low angle 0.5, like walked up to the car from like up this driveway, which was because it was like the shadows. It was really, I knew it was gonna be sick. And then I was kind of, as I did it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be cool because I was kind of shaky, right? And it's not on a gimbal. And when I played it back for them on the first time, they were like, oh my, dude, the stabilization in these phones, it's crazy. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't know where this shot lives, but it's like, it's coming out of me. Like, I feel like it needs to be in the shoot. Because that's how I talk when I'm talking to clients. I'm a dick. And then they were like, that's awesome. Like, you're totally right. That could be a standalone piece. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
That's great.
And that's just from the phone, dude. If I had the 12, it wouldn't work.
Are you ready for your shoot?
No, dude.
Tell us about the shoot.
Bro.
What's going on?
Okay, so it's I feel like it's definitely the biggest shoot I've had for like one of the car companies, just because it's like we got like 3 clients. I got to like set up Video Village. There's talent, and it's just like your boy. I have a AD, so I got to choose. Basically, I had to choose.
Anthony Davis is on your shoot.
Yeah, I need a tall guy to hold up the light. I basically had to choose between like an AC, like an assistant camera, which I don't really need because I'm using C70 and it's got autofocus. So I was choosing between an AC, an AD, gaffer, and then something else which I didn't use.
LBJ.
Yep, exactly.
Russ.
So then I said AD because, dude, like when you have that many deliverables, it's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm like, someone to keep me on schedule. And like the guy was there in the tech scout and it was so nice. I was like, oh, like I was doing the sun thing. I was like, oh, the sun's going to come like between those 2 beams at 4:30. He goes, got it. Cleared your schedule at 4:30. Like you at 4:15, you'll be setting up for that shot. He's like, I got it all written down. So he's just going to tell me what to do.
That's great.
Which is going to be really nice. I think that's like the best actually person to have on set.
What is Tech Scout stand for? Or like, what does it mean?
I'm pretty sure tech stands for technical. I don't know. I never actually thought about that. It just means you go there, you bring the shot list. The production company handed out binders, which was sick.
Oh,
so I still have it.
Official with the
I felt
binder.
super binder.
That's beast. Super binder.
Super binder. So I had like an eraser in there and stuff, and like had the shot list printed out. And then I was just kind of like, oh yeah, we'll shoot this then with the AD. We like went over when we'll shoot everything, where the sun will be, like depending on that. And then you just kind of walk around and look. I looked for like outlets, but then they were like, oh yeah, you can't actually use the outlet. So I had to bring a generator, which sucks. I don't really know. We used a generator once on a music video and we could not get it started.
Oh my god.
And I think we all burned ourselves, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this was crazy. So me and Chase filmed a music video for Josh, and we were out in Trona, California, like literally middle of nowhere in the desert, and we rented CDJ so that he could actually DJ, and then we needed a generator to power the CDJs.
Makes sense.
And we got it on, and then we put it like under the table to hide it, and then it like turned off. But before we got it on, we could not get it on. We literally tried for like 10 to 15 minutes, and the sun was setting.
It was
and we were
so
freaking
stressful.
out.
It was like perfect golden hour, and we're like, come on, like trying to pull this thing over, and it just could not get it, dude. Could not get it.
And we were freaking out because we were like, we're leaving after this, and we need to get this on. It ended up working out.
It just worked.
Finally, we like switched the right switch, or do we just pull really fucking hard once? I can't remember.
The guy at Home Depot told us how to do it, and we did it exactly how he told us to do it, and it didn't work. And then we did it a different way. We're like, fuck that dude, because we ended up making
outlets
it work.
will really screw your day. So you guys got to remember to check outlets. We went somewhere that we didn't have outlets, and it makes you really sad. And you're like, we have 2 V mounts in there for the camera.
Right. If you can tech scout. First thing, I have a list of things I need to do.
What's on the
outlets
list?
is always number one. It's like, where's the power going to come from?
Sure.
Because you got to find your outlets, and then it's like, where's the sun going to be? You get the little track. It's literally free. It's called like Sun's Track or Sun's Path or something. Do that. Yeah, and then I just walked around the house, like saw like where like cool like frames within frames would be, where the car should be parked. I brought in like a random guy's like, okay. I'm pretty sure this guy just wanted to flex. He was like, do you want me to like bring my car down for like positioning? I was like, sure, dude. It was like the new Range Rover. And I was like, okay, like anyone could have brought their car down. You just wanted to like, we
And
didn't
then
even
he was
need
like,
this.
do you need me to like stand in? Do you want to take some like test shots? Can you airdrop me that? I'm trying to post on Insta.
He literally just wanted to show off his car for sure. But it was pretty.
Do you find yourself doing test shots on your iPhone?
Yes, exclusively, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm just always taking photos on the phone. Because then you can look like, oh yeah, that was cool. Or like, that would be cool. And
really,
that's pretty common.
It's really impressive how good these cameras have
yeah,
gotten.
it's really good. Really
48 megapixels.
Yeah, 48. That's like an R5. That's actually insane. Now
How
that I
many?
think about it.
How many does yours have, Chase?
I honestly, I don't know.
46.
They didn't. Is it 46?
I'm just messing around.
Really quick.
Yeah, do your
I'm
roll.
so fucking thirsty.
Yep.
Can you please prompt me to do
Yep.
the
Give the one-handed crack challenge. Go for it.
Never done this. Well, on the podcast.
Yep. No way. Spin it.
Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, you're getting a flat 9 on that
Come
one.
on,
A
dude.
flat
Here's the
9.
thing. I trained in the Bfiggy Academy.
Did you see my story? So I've been giving out.
I've been watching a little
I've been
bit.
giving out charity points. So like for example, last pod, love him to death. Jordan, great guest. He used his teeth though, and it's just not how the game goes. It's just not how the game goes.
I think I was more impressed than you guys. Ingenuity will always do it for me.
I wasn't impressed by that, but Kostas brought up a huge point after the pod. He sat me down in the corner and he goes, listen, dude. He's like, I don't want to be that guy, but you're really giving out, some charity points here. Yeah. And so then I was like, started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I've been too afraid to hurt people's feelings and give them the scores they deserve. So I'm setting this straight. Like that was
like 7 and 8.
Yeah, 7 and 8s, and genuinely that was a 9. Like I'm not even gonna like cap. That was a 9.
I studied under you for about a year.
That was a 9. That was for sure 9. But a lot of the kids have been coming on the pod. Because they're our friends. They're new friends. And I don't want them to hate me.
First thing they do on the pod.
No, exactly. And then I think that they're gonna be like, F that guy in the middle. He's a piece of shit. So I give him a little bit higher of a score. But then I'm like, dude, I've ruined the integrity of the game.
Right.
So from about 3 days ago on. That's real scores.
Nice.
We're not giving any inflations on scores, and that was a real 9.
Unlike the American dollar, no inflation over here.
Yeah, none. I want to open this.
Yeah,
I got a package.
What'd you get?
Open that, dude.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Ooh. Pop it open,
dude. I've been going ham on Amazon Prime.
Probably
Prime
like a
is-
latex bodysuit. I'm gonna guess.
What do you think we
right
got?
there. What do you think it is?
Oh, I know that.
Small rig. That is a.
I got a cage. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So I was shooting photos and doing video, which I will get into, but I was trying to figure out how to have like my flash in the hot shoe, but then also have my like mic to my camera as well. You need like 2 hot shoe, 1 cold shoe, 1 hot shoe mount, and so this small rig cage allows me to do that. And then what is this? Oh, this is the repair for my flash that I broke.
How'd you break your flash? Tell the people what you did on your huge road trip.
Oh, and then I'm going to Bali, so I got some travel adapters.
European
Nice,
travel
dude.
adapters.
Smart
If you're going out of the
man.
country,
Come
you
on.
need to buy those.
Some goodies. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day.
There it is.
Quick update. Live update on the podcast. Boom, 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 boom. So for this shoot, I rented all my gear, and I'm using the Canon C70, which is RF mount, and I rented a whole set of beautiful PL mount flaps, like an idiot.
What's the problem with that though?
Okay, so problem. PL is like the cinema format glass mount. It's the standard on like the big ass Aries on like, is it ever? I think it's standard on like the older Reds, maybe. But it's like it's what Nice Glass uses, but you can actually get them for EF, which is what I was hoping for. But as you can see, so basically I didn't have the adapter and I was fucked. And I was driving over here, and I don't do this a lot, but I was texting and driving, trying to figure this situation. I was trying to rent on ShareGrip. People were declining.
Only at red lights and stop signs.
Only red lights and stop signs, exactly. And crosswalks, because I don't hit people.
Yep.
But shout out Before Infinity Productions.
He's got you back.
Who said I can pick it up after 7:30 tonight. So I'm
Wow.
gonna be fine. Thank God.
Dude,
Come on, dude. I'll probably go right after this.
That's great. So you got your lenses. You're good to go for your shoot.
Yes, so I got the shoot ready to go. But yeah, and that's tomorrow, Hollywood Hills. Don't come out and see me because it'll be really stressful. But yeah,
dude, Chase stays in the hills.
You stay in the
I
hills.
know, I just been in
you know who just left the hills? Casey Neistat. He's gone. He went back to NYC.
So
Yeah.
wait, is he officially in?
Oh,
NYC
he's
now?
gone. Yeah, so he made a vlog. He's vlogging
I
again.
haven't seen this yet.
Oh, you should go home tonight and watch
I
the
will.
2 videos that he made.
I'm gonna
made
be
a
ready to run through a
vlog back
wall.
to NYC, and it was just so. Kostas told me it was nostalgic, and I was like,
so nostalgic.
God.
I have literal goosebumps right
God,
now.
I loved
I'm not
it.
kidding.
I
dude.
loved
He's kinda
every
back.
second of it. He's back. No, dude. And he
He's kinda
starts.
back.
God, he's such a genius.
Is
You know
he
how he
gonna-
starts it?
What?
He starts it in NYC, and I go, "You son of a bitch!" And then goes back to LA. I'm like,
And then he's
Gets
Christopher
me every-
Nolan. So
every
Christopher
time.
Nolan's our ass. 'Cause,
Every time.
Okay, here's the thing. We love LA.
Yeah.
We love LA. But Casey Neistat, God, he's better in New York.
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
better New York
He just,
guy.
dude, he's like pizza, man.
Yep.
Just tastes better in New York.
He belongs in NYC, and then he made a video about a blind surfer that was he's just a good storyteller.
Yeah.
He
God,
just
he's
gets
so
it.
good,
I'm happy he's making videos. again.
Hell yeah,
He said he
dude.
feels inspired. He's like, I feel inspired.
So is he inspired to just like not be a good dad again? Was like the whole thing.
He's like, kids, I really, dude. Tom Brady. Speaking of good dads, Tom Brady, he doesn't want to go be a dad. He wants to play football. Do you see this? It's very interesting.
It's crazy. So him and Giselle not
yeah.
in the same house anymore.
Separated right now.
Because he was, when he retired, I think he was, his family was like, you're retiring. He was like, I'm going to retire. I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah.
And then he was like, fuck this. And now he's just playing football poorly, mind you. Playing football poorly, and his family won't talk to him. He's also doing some weird shit, dude. He's doing some weird
There
weird
was
shit.
also an interview that he did,
Yeah.
and his face looked
Oh, he does not look well.
I think him and like Zac Efron been hanging out because I think they're getting plastic surgery together. I don't know if you guys seen what Zac Efron looks like recently.
I have not.
Bro, he's like
You
all
haven't
messed
seen
up.
this? Oh, I gotta
No,
pull it up.
Live showing. But speaking of New York, let me just transition while it's still there. It's still like kind of floating in the past, but I'm gonna grab it. So
That shit.
we went to
Odell in the
Lena and I went to her boss's wedding, who was a movie producer, who produced like the post King Richard, which just came out.
Flex.
Which was awesome. Holy shit, dude! He looks so weird, dude.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Why would he do that? He has such a good face.
I know, he's a handsome dude.
Something must have happened to his face.
No,
I bet.
he messed up.
Fell.
Continue though.
But
New York.
it was pretty cool. So we get to New York, have a little dinner in Manhattan, and then we took. Dude, I figured I got the subways down now.
Really?
Bro. Subway to Penn Station. Took the Penn Station up the Long Island Railroad to Long Island Railroad to Montauk is what I took, dude. And I can speak their fucking language, dude. I knew exactly. I was like, dude, I got this shit. And then we got off at West Hampton, and it was pretty sick. Hamptons. Okay.
Have you been before?
I've never been to Hamptons.
I've never been.
Me neither.
In my opinion, and you guys have never been here, but like Park Point, Duluth, Minnesota, very similar to the Hamptons. Just gonna say it, dude. It's just like it's like a beach. It's like a long beach. It's pretty flat. It's like kind of spread out. I mean, it's nice. It's like the restaurants are nice. Expensive as fuck, dude.
In the Hamptons,
the most expensive restaurants you've ever seen. Like an omelet's like $25, which is crazy. But it's pretty cool because the wedding. I mean, because he's a pretty big, important guy in Hollywood. So it's like, I was just the whole time we're talking to these really cool writers, actors, movie producers, etc. And like all the speeches were so good. And I was like, I bet some of these writers helped out. And then I talked to this guy who I won't name, but like, he's like been nominated for like 3 Oscars. And I was like, you help with like that? He's like, yeah, I wrote that speech. I was like, no shit, dude. He wrote like all these like big rom-coms back in the day. I'm like,
way.
I was like, that's the best speech I've ever heard. Like, there's no way you didn't have help.
So funny.
But it was really cool to talk to these people. They all like knew Obama for some reason, like that kind of crowd. I just did not belong. I was like, I cannot believe I'm here. I got too drunk.
But you had a great time.
I had a great time, and I was like, I got too drunk, and I was like, you gotta rein it in. I was like, you are so right. I was like dance on this pole for a second, and I was like, no, I gotta focus. Like, pretend like I didn't come from Matamina, Minnesota, you know?
That's
Figured
funny.
It was cool though.
That's funny.
How long do you think wedding speeches should be? Because sometimes
short.
they're bad and too long.
I'm thinking like 2 to 5 minutes.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
In the pocket.
yeah, like 5. Yeah, totally agree.
Like 2 to 5.
I went to a
2
wedding
minutes
that
is a
had,
long
I went to a
ass
wedding
time.
that had this guy started the speech. It was the father of the bride. Started the speech with, and I've been known to give too long of wedding speeches in the past. So I'm gonna try to not do that again. But who knows? 27-minute long speech. And you know what it was? It was bullet points of her life. It was He didn't give any heart or caring or anything. It was like, she went to college here. She stayed in this dorm. This is where she met her. Then she majored in this class, and it took 27 minutes. It was unbelievable.
Bride was turning red for sure.
It was the worst. It was the worst speech. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Don't do that.
Worst speech I've ever heard.
How are you staying yoked on the road?
Ooh, question.
Oh, it's tough.
I bet it's hard.
I just did a 10-day run, and then I leave tomorrow for a 5-day run.
Jesus Christ.
There's like 16 shows in September. Too many.
And then you kind of do like September to Bali, right? Or shows to.
Yeah.
What's your break?
I have like a 2-week break between after I come back and then I leave to Bali. I'm going to Bali, guys, for like 2 weeks on a surf trip. Very excited.
Yip, yip, yip.
It's gonna be just like a proper vacation. I'm really gonna use it as like a reset.
Yeah,
you know?
nice.
What are you bringing though? You're not bringing the big cameras, right?
No, just gonna bring the Leica. Keep it light. I'm really excited.
Have you been watching Life of Riley's Instagram the last
Unreal.
few days?
So good.
I'm like, Lena, we gotta get on a train trip.
The
And I
train with the
actually looked at-
Negroni with the shutter.
Yeah.
The,
You know what's
the slow
fucked up?
shutter in the background.
Influencers work, dude. Influencers work. I always thought Kostas was awesome but crazy to buy a $6,000 camera that point shoot. I looked at that photo and I instantly Googled Q2, like maybe I could get a used one or something. Dude, it just works, dude.
You think you'll make a move?
I don't know. Part of
You know what I think you need to get?
What?
If you don't want to shell out for the Leica,
I can't believe you're about to say that.
you should get the Fujifilm
Oh my God, this is so
X100V.
funny. So I was like,
Girl from my work just got it.
I
It's sick.
googled like a Q2, like similar, and then the whole time I'm thinking, if Kostas ever sees this Google, he will destroy me with like. I never thought you would allow that, and I was like, I kind of want this Fujifilm camera because that was like this.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't want to get the Q2, get this.
Dude,
But,
I watched so many like comparison videos, and part of me was like,
just get the like.
do I go like the Fujifilm? And what's cool about the Fujifilm, it has like film presets
that's interesting.
that make the photos look more film, like film emulation.
Yeah. Nailed it.
But then I talked to our good buddy Babin, and he has the Fujifilm, and he goes,
Oh yeah, he uses that.
he was like, yeah, he's like, but I'm upgrading to the Leica. It's worth it. And I was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah,
And I
just
wanted the
get
Leica,
it.
so I did it.
Sometimes I'm thinking like I could spend $2,000 on this thing or 4 on the thing I really want, and I'm like, well, at that point you might as well. I know that's kind of abundance mentality.
Give him 10, or I could spend one. Let's go with the 10.
Let's go.
And
with
if you're going to spend 10, you might as well just drop
get the
20.
$30,000.
Yeah.
Is it still popping over there, like in Vegas, or is there people that go?
Good question.
Are they in the caves? The cave people come out. Now it's those people that are like.
Oh,
No,
It's
this
like my parents.
this past weekend I was at Wet Republic, and it was surprisingly pretty poppin'. And then we went to Hakkasan for like 15 minutes. They weren't performing, but they're friends with Lil Jon, so because he has a
That's
Tao residency
fun.
as well. He's a really nice guy. He's like super chill when he's like not performing. And Pitbull performed, and they've like known each other for like 20 years, Lil Jon and Pitbull. And I don't know if there's two entertainers that get the crowd more hyped.
Oh, no, dude, no way.
Like Pitbull's music, like as much fun as he gets made fun of, dude, like Hotel Room Service and Kulo
yeah,
might
dude.
be the two most lit songs live in a club.
Dude, I
Yeah.
fucking bet, dude. Mr.
Oh,
Worldwide, dude.
Mr. 305,
There's
dog.
no way he disappoints.
Dude, it was
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What a cool thing to see, honestly.
it was pretty lit. But I had my camera because they were like, make sure you bring your camera just in case like we get a photo. We didn't, but my flash was like acting up. It wasn't firing, and I was freaking out, and I was so bummed because on the 10-day run, the last city that we went to was Nashville, and for some reason my camera gear was fucking up. So this is what happened in Vegas. I went Vegas, Miami, Atlantic City, London, Ontario, Toronto for like 4 days, and then we finished in Nashville. Like a really long run.
Yeah,
the longest run I've done with them. So Vegas, first thing, show's going really well. I'm having a blast. We're at Tao Beach, and I have my bag and like my cameras under this where they like do the lights and the visuals and stuff, because there's just like no place to put your bag. So I put it like kind of out of the way. I was like switching stuff there, and then I grabbed my bag, and I guess my camera with the flash was like under, and I was pulling my bag out, and the flash, whatever, the fucking flash broke. So I'm like, great.
Fucking hell.
Day one of a 10-day run, my flash breaks. I'm fucked. But the show was a day show, and we were leaving like the next morning. So I was like, okay, I got to go to a camera shop in Vegas. I hope there's one open. The show ended at like 5 or 5:30. There was one camera store that was open till like 7. So the tour manager drove me over. Shout out Jacob. And so I had to shell out another $250. But one of the things that I got in here is like a replacement just for the bottom, because you can just like, it's like $20 to replace like the bottom. And I guess the Godox flash that I have, they
can just
break kind
replace
of
the
easily, but you can replace them. Anyways, okay, so I'm like, great, fuck. Down a flash, shelled out $250. Let's go to Miami. Miami was like lit. We were out to like 7 a.m. We did live to like 4:30. Then we went to 11. And it's like a strip club, but it's fucking lit. And like every time we go, the people that they know there, they just like get a table. It's like, it's fucking awesome. So we're there till 7, whatever. Then we go to Atlantic City. We do premiere. Atlantic City, kind of a dump.
What's it like?
It's
Where is it,
it's
Atlantic
ratchet.
City?
It's New Jersey.
Yeah. It's ratchet.
Oh, okay.
It's like Jersey Shore kind of vibes, I assume.
And then, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So then we go to London, Ontario, and they went to school in London, Ontario at Western University. And they do a show. It's like for all the freshmen, and they always bring out like a big guest, and they have it on this hill. The hill, they didn't do it this year, but anyways, Loud Luxury performed. And because they're from Canada, they went to school there. It was like a homecoming from them. Fucking banger show. Like some of the craziest energy I've experienced. But I'm shooting, and I get this like message on the back of my photo camera, my A7R3. It was like, didn't write correctly to your memory card. Like, would you like to try to save your data or like recover your data? And I was like, oh my God. And I had gotten that message like once before, but it was like, it happened like the bursts that I shot, like I tried to recover it, corrupted, it didn't work, whatever. Dude, this happened to me, I kid you not, like 10 plus times during the show. And I usually shoot about like anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,200 photos per show. More like 60 or 65% of them got corrupted. And I was like so focused on that during the show. I was so out of it. I was like, this is just not the show for my gear to be fucking up on. And I was just like in a shit mood.
Oh yeah.
And the next day I was giving them their photos, or I was trying to edit, And I was like, bro, I like barely have any. Like, and Joe was like asking for a specific one of him jumping because he knew I got it. And like I did get it and it was a sick shot, but like it got corrupted. Yeah, it was fucked. So I was like this close to telling them that my camera broke because I was like, dude, what am I gonna do? And then I sent them like I still had some, so I sent them all the photos, and Joe was like, is this all you have? And I like literally I had it typed out, and then I deleted the message and I was like, yes. And the thing is, when you're working with you know, a client, whatever it may be, specifically in the music industry, like they don't know what you got. So like stick to your guns. Right. And we've said this a million times, like, don't let the client know anything is wrong.
Because you could have just been filming at that moment or like, you know what I mean?
But it really threw me for a loop. So then I was like, okay, great. We're going to Toronto, major city. I can like rent a new camera.
Right.
So then I call up the camera store and I go like, how much is it going to, or can I rent an A7R3 and how much does it cost? And they're like, it's $200 a day. And I go,
what?
Bro, absolutely
Canadian,
not.
maybe?
Yeah. You're Canadian,
Okay.
but like still
Still
like,
the same shit.
It's
Still
like
insane.
basically $150 a day or something. And I go,
insane.
Can't do it, too much. So then I go, okay, what are we going to do? So then I decided to shoot the rest of the photos on the A7S3, which is, I was like, this is going to be shit. The photos don't turn out like as good, obviously, because it's just not as many megapixels. But it wasn't terrible because if they're just posting on social, like you don't need the high megapixels.
It's not like a billboard. Or
Right. It's not like you need the iPhone 14 Pro
with
Max.
48 megapixels. No, you don't.
Yeah. But it was kind of nice only using one body because I was like, oh, okay, I'm filming. Great. I just turn a little knob, like the little switch. And I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm taking photos. So
do you want to be A1 vibes?
Yeah, he's totally
Sony A1. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
100% what he's going at,
so
dude.
that's what I was low-key thinking about. I was like, maybe I do just rip one camera. But of course, like the A1 is $6,000.
Right.
So I'm like, we'll figure it out later.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. So then I still need to take my camera to get fixed, but our good friend Evan Naka is letting me borrow his A7 or A7R3 for this trip. And then one other thing that I wanted to say. What else happened? Oh, so then my flash, because I got the new one, and then it started misfiring. Like it wasn't even like working. And then in Nashville, they were like hanging out with Lil Jon before their set, and then they're like, yo, get a photo. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I like taking the photos, and my flash literally did not go off. So I like didn't get the fucking photo. And you can't like fake that. I can't be like, yeah, I got it. It was literally like pitch dark. You can't even like, it was shit.
No.
And I still don't know what was going on, but yeah, dude, flash and audio, just my worst
Kryptonite
nightmare.
right now.
Yeah, my
What's
kryptonite.
going on?
Flash and audio is stressful, dude.
Yeah. But I think I figured it out. Also, a tip that I recently learned today from our good friend Evan Naka. I was always shooting in the club, like with the flash ISO 100. Don't do that.
Oh, really?
Because it takes more power because you're shooting ISO 100. If you're shooting with like TTL, which is just like auto, which is what I do, because the original image is dark, it takes more power for the flash to fire. So then the recycle time is more. So sometimes you'll do like, even if it's at like medium shutter speed, it'll be like click, 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 click. Like it'll go off the first one, but like not the rest. So if you boost that ISO up to like 1,000, 1,250 or like 1,600,
Which you can do with the
it's not going to be like
Sony,
grainy because it's like not that high of ISO, but your image or the recycle time for the flash will be faster.
I have a question for you. I thought that I remember when I used the flash one time, the flash wouldn't let me change the ISO more than.
It's the shutter speed.
Oh, it won't let you change the shutter.
Yeah.
That's what
Brandon
it
and I
is.
not big flash guys.
Yeah, I've never
I've
used
the flash
one time.
one or two.
Got it. So you can change the ISO. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. That makes sense. So that would allow the flash to not work as hard, and then you'd be good to go.
Yeah, but that's kind of a little bit about what I've been dealing with. What I realize is I really get in my head if I like miss a shot or if my fucking
I'm with you.
camera equipment breaks.
Sure.
I'm like, this is so fucked because I just want to do a good job. And like, you can't really focus on getting the best shots if you're worried about if your fucking flash is going to miss, like not fire.
You just got to move on though, you know, like you got to have a short memory.
Like baseball.
Exactly.
Short-term memory.
Or
I
like
know.
basketball,
Remember
you know?
that?
You missed that three, dude, get up and hit the next.
I'm not gonna lie. I let it bug me the whole game. I'm just sitting there like
Oh, dude,
rocking
me
back
too.
and forth.
That's why, dude, not to totally derail really quick. Tennis is kind of good for that because you're going to miss 50 shots in a match and you can still win it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't know if there's a sport that takes more like mental concentration for a longer period of time than tennis. I was thinking about this.
Tennis or
it's
golf.
Like, you need every single point.
And you can't judge. You can't think about the last point, dude. That's such a thing.
At
that
least
used to
golf,
get me.
you're not tired. I mean,
Right.
tennis. Realistically, dude, golf, you're not tired. Let's
No.
be real here.
Especially
You know,
if you
they're
got a
just
fucking
kicking it on the course. They don't even carry their bags. Those tennis dudes, after
Yeah,
one
it's
match,
insane.
unbelievable.
Oh,
dude.
they're like 5 hours long.
Watching Serena Williams play, I was exhausted. I was like, what? That was 1 point.
I forgot to tell you. I don't know if I can say something. I'll say it. Let's time it. So her sister, Isha Price, is there because she worked on King Richard. She had the funniest stories. I don't think I can say them. But I'll tell you guys later.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'll tell you. She's awesome though. So cool. Coolest person ever.
But going back to the gains on the road, like I got in like 1 or 2 workouts. Dude, it's so hard to eat 3 meals a day, stay hydrated, get 8 hours of sleep, and work out. It's just like not possible.
No way.
Not happening.
And after this 10-day run, and then I'm like not really looking forward to this 5-day run. September's pretty fucked. And then I'm really going to use Bali as like a reset and figure out what I want to do next. I've been talking to Braden about this a lot. I'm like, to be 100% honest, I'm pretty overshooting doing this like whole every single weekend type of tour life. I don't know how much longer I got in me. I think I got like 6 months left, and then I just want to like pivot and chill.
Let's see. You know, you experience the highs and the lows of this thing you've always wanted to do, and just see where it goes.
I've been like, and Braden and I were talking about this last night. I'm like, I'm really trying to stay grateful and like look at it from a positive mindset of like, yo, a year ago, you didn't think you'd be doing this like when you were younger,
Right.
you didn't think you'd be able to like get to this point. Like now you're doing exactly what you wanted to do. But I'm like, dude, now that we're in it, I don't know. It's just like, it's so taxing. Like every weekend. I want my weekends back.
Yeah,
is
I get
what
that.
I think what it is.
Weekends are nice, dude. Especially football's on nowadays. Badgers. You know, we kind of lost to Washington State. But
go.
I'm
Ducks.
going back to Madison for a show though.
oh, come on,
Yeah,
dude.
they're
Win.
performing in Liquid on November 11th. So if
Liquid.
you live
Fine.
in Madison, Wisconsin,
Hopefully, you guys
or
aren't playing football that weekend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my first kiss in college was in Liquid.
No
Yeah, oh,
way.
yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
What a
Oh,
time
yeah,
to
dude.
be alive.
Freshman years, like second night there.
Let's go.
Didn't take me long. Come on.
Wait, you said your first kiss? Not ever.
In college, my
no,
first
no,
night
no,
of
ever,
college,
ever,
of college,
ever.
bro.
You guys
I kissed a
thought it
girl.
was
I kissed a girl in like 7th grade. Come on, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Can we hear that story?
Sitting at a park, kissed her. I kind of nailed it. Totally made out actually. First kiss.
Oh.
And then I was biking back with my homie Garrett to my house, and then I was singing Katy Perry's "I Kissed a Girl," and I liked it the whole time. Yeah, it was awesome, dude. How's the course going?
Dude, the Rocks are learning so much stuff.
Hell yeah,
dude. Yesterday,
Not how to kiss.
not how to kiss. We are not kissing any rocks.
When is that? That's the next course.
That's the next
That's
one.
week 6.
I'm still working on that one.
How to film and kiss.
Dude, somebody hit me up. This is very interesting. I think everybody should hear this. So the other day, someone DM'd me or messaged me on that's in the program, and they were like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna charge this person like $200, $250 for this shoot." And I was like, "Yeah, do you have any more information?" And I think that something that most people don't go the extra mile is they get on the phone, and then as soon as money starts getting talked about, they get a little rattled, and they're like, I'll get you the number, and then we'll figure this out. And they forget that it's all okay. You just got to take a step back and breathe, but you got to ask a very important questions during the call so we can get information and make sure that we can even complete said thing, that we even have the bandwidth and capability to do it. Anyways, I go, did you ask them about budget? They said that normally they're in like the 600 to 850 range or whatever. And I was like, perfect. I go, this is great. I go, tell them 850. She's like, why? Like, I'm not comfortable. I'm in the 200 range. I'm like, well, if someone ever tells you their budget is between 5 and 10,000, you full press court offense to 10,000. They're telling you what they're capable. They have money, and if they don't spend the money, they're not going to get it next year.
And you go,
That's
I
how-
typically do it for 15, but I'll do it
Right,
for 10 this
exactly.
time
I'll
around.
get it for 10. But anyways, so she ends up saying 850 or 800, whatever. And she texts me back like 5 minutes later. The conversation literally said, sounds great. Perfect. We'll see you then. I'm like, you were gonna lose $600 on this deal. And then she was like, wow, I don't think that, I'm even capable of doing this. I go, well, what was the last video you did? And she tells me it was like $100. I go, do the exact same thing for that video for this one. And it turned out well, right? She crushed it. It was a great video. And I was like, you deserve to be paid. You're not, most of the time for creatives, it's a limiting belief that they have in their heads that I'm worth $500 or I'm worth only $1,000. And once you charge the $2,000 or the $5,000, it's like, that is your new price.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And it's new self-worth.
It's new self-worth.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's like, she's been making the same great videos. He or she's been making the same great videos. It's like you were just charging less because in your mind you think that it's less, but to another person who is in a completely different demographic than you or a different industry, they're like, oh, we pay 10 grand for those videos. It's like, oh, I've been charging $50 for these same videos.
Literally,
you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
So people don't really realize that. It's usually a self-limiting belief.
And also she goes, well, I've never charged $850 for a video, but like every time you make more money from a video, it's going to be your first time charging that price.
Definitely. And it's the same thing. You can think about it like this in a career, right? Because like if you are at a situation where your work's good enough and it's not like you were scamming somebody for $1,000 video and it's really a $50 video.
Right.
Like you're at a place where you're comfortable in your work, you know what you're doing, you have a workflow, whatever. It's like if you get a raise at the job, if you were at a corporate job and you get a raise, the next day you might be doing a different responsibility. That's the same thing when you charge more for a video, right? It's like but the responsibilities really don't change. They don't. Your job is to make a great video at the end of the day. So you shouldn't be nervous about charging them more. If they agree to it, it's value. At the end of the day, it's all value, right? Like I could show you guys a car, a really nice car. Let's use a Ferrari. I saw this example on YouTube the other day. It's a great example. YouTube Ferrari. Okay. And I say, Kostas, it's $5,000. You're going to get me the $5,000 because it's
no matter what.
It's $100,000 car. It's $150,000. It's value. We're like perceiving the value. Right.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of the times people don't realize that different people have different values for certain things that they're selling or that they're buying, right? And like you have all these different types of people that are going to be looking to buy service. You have some people that are going to be at the bottom of that, some people at the top of that. But if I'm talking to the guy at the bottom for a $10,000 video, he's going to look at me like I'm nuts. But the guy at the top is like, yes, we're going to do 50 of these this year.
Right.
Bang.
Right.
And then he's going to buy it. He's going to spend more money for the more expensive video. It's all about perceived value.
Another thing about her being like, oh, I've only charged 200 and you were like, you're about to lose out on $650. Two things. One, sometimes you might charge too little and that might cause the client to be like, ooh, like I had this budget set aside. Like if I don't spend that budget or like I feel like I want to spend $600 to $850 on this video, this person's only charging me $200. It's probably not going to be as good of a video.
Definitely.
So you can sometimes shoot yourself in the foot. And if you don't charge enough, you kind of come off as cheap.
Totally.
Look at a guy like you. For example, Kostas likes expensive stuff.
Kostas loves expensive
If you
stuff.
were buying a video from somebody and you had 5 different people's videos, I can guarantee you specifically will not pick the cheapest one. Neither would I. And it's very interesting though, because it's like I perceive value as being more expensive.
Totally.
You know, and I'm going to spend more to get something that I think is more valuable.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of video creators can take that, or photographers, designers, whatever. And it's like, am I charging the correct price for what it is? And if you want to raise your price, you can do that. Yeah. Nobody's stopping you.
And maybe you think back to why you can charge a higher price now. Maybe you bought a new camera, maybe you bought a new lens, maybe you're gonna rent some new stuff, or maybe you just got better, which is gonna happen.
Yeah,
if you keep doing it.
Exactly.
Yesterday's price isn't today's.
I love that
price.
one.
Yeah,
but also, if you're gonna quote a price or say your rate, and you're like, oh, like I don't know how much to charge, definitely say more than less.
Yes, because
like
you can
always
go down.
overshoot it, and you never want to be like, because maybe oftentimes you might not know what the client's budget is going to be. So you don't know if you're going to lose out on money, but sometimes the client might be like, oh shit, I was willing to pay $5,000 for this and they're only charging me $1,500. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to say yes. So sometimes like charge a little bit more than charge less.
Yeah, and you can always come down.
Yeah,
everybody can come down. But I saw this tweet. It was a great tweet, and it said a water bottle at the store costs $1. The same bottle at the hotel is $3, and at the airport it's $5. The same bottle, the exact same brand. The only thing that changed is the place. Each place gives a different value to the item. When you feel worthless, change places. Don't love the end of it because like you're not gonna go move to Nebraska or whatever, right? But I think that you can take away something from this where it's like if you're selling your services to a demographic of people or whatever, right? And they're like, hey, you know, you're selling to high school let's use high school for example. You're selling to a high school parents, and they're like, we can't afford more than $100, and you're just at a public school. But if I go 1 block over to the private school, to their parents, they might be willing to pay $500 for the same video. And I think that a lot of the times I was talking to someone about this that I was coaching, and I was telling them, I was like, yeah, would it be worth it for you to drive 3 hours to the big city closest to you? But we're arranging shoots. So you're not just going for the fun of it. You're arranging 3 shoots for that day that are way higher than what you're capable of charging in your smaller town. You're getting out there, you're paying 3 hours for the gas, it's tough, your time, whatever. But then again, you're going to get your month or a month and a half of money. And all they were changing, same exact service, same exact video. All they were changing was the place that they were selling it to and the demographic of people. And I think a lot of creators can use that and say, okay, if I'm not charging enough and I'm not getting the clients that are willing to pay me for the work that I'm making, how can I make a change and either go after a different group of people, go after a different town or whatnot, and be able to bring in the money that I'm supposed to bring in for my work? When you're at the point where it's what you need to do that when you think your work's there.
And then also going off of like perceived value, right? Changing locations is one thing, because if you are in a bigger major city compared to like a smaller town, like you're just naturally going to have clients that you can charge more because it's probably your bigger business, whatever it may be. But also like if your perceived value is better, right? So like your branding is more on point, your website's clean, like you might be making the same exact video, but like your perceived value of what your branding is like and how you present yourself and how you talk on a call, all those things come into play.
Totally.
It allows you to up the budget that you're going to charge.
Definitely. And I mean, I think that a lot of creators don't realize this, right? Like a brand could get on the phone with somebody, and again, it could be the same exact video, but the person presenting it is super confident. They're asking a ton of great questions. They're very involved. They're like, I remember Mike's name, Bill, whatever. They're asking good questions. And it's like when the price comes up and one of them's 20,000 and one of them's 2,000, they're gonna be like, dude, we're gonna go with why would we go with this other guy when he made us feel super comfortably, asked great questions, and it was a really fun call. It didn't even feel like a call, and all of that stuff is process.
Totally.
All of it wrapped in a nice little bow. Wrapped in a nice little bow.
Wrap it up.
100%. Speaking of not wrapping it up, you're an uncle now.
Oh, nice. Yes, my brother. Great transition. Incredible. Not a father and uncle. Thank God. My brother, sweet baby Lou. They just made a baby. Benton and Meg. His name is Lewis Scott Utley, which is my dad's name, Scott, so that's kind of cute.
It's a great name.
I'm just kidding. Lewis Scott Utley. Oh, it's a great name, dude. Call him Sweet Baby Lou. He's adorable. I can't wait to meet him. I haven't met him yet.
Dude?
He came up pretty big, which is, respect.
Yep.
How big? I bet he's gonna be. I can't remember. I don't. You're gonna press me for this fact.
Linebacker.
I don't got the megapixels on him. But dude, he's gonna be an athletic motherfucker, dude. Both like my sister-in-law played like D1 volleyball. Benton's real fucking athletic, just at everything. I bet and he's gonna be probably redheaded because she's redheaded and it's really dominant. And gingers are always athletic, and everyone knows that. You have an athletic ginger in your high school, either of you?
Yeah.
We had one. We had one ginger, and he was so fucking athletic. Yeah, it's like a thing, dude. I don't know what it is.
Well, dude, you're an uncle, and people are gonna charge more for videos, and you're gonna go to Bali. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another episode of the 505 Pod. Please take a screenshot, lob it up on the story, so Keon can get dinner, and we will see you guys all next week. Peace.
Bye.